One. Go.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
About curriculum development processes and models. What is curriculum? Curriculum in the context of processes and models, it depends on how the curriculum workers implement. It depends on the curriculum workers on how they plan, they design, and also they implement the curriculum. So this is according to Nulatapa, 1962. Curriculum development process is a curriculum. A curriculum is a dynamic process involving many different people and procedures. So this context, in this context, process and models, there are a lot of proponents in planning the curriculum. They are classified in the three categories, which are the linear, cyclical, and the dynamic curriculum. So there are four phases of curriculum development. We have curriculum planning, curriculum designing, curriculum implementing, and curriculum evaluating. First, we have curriculum planning. So everybody please read.
It considers the school vision, mission, and goals. It also includes the philosophy or strong education belief of the school. All those will eventually be translated to classroom desired learning outcomes for the learners.
So in the curriculum workers consider the school vision, mission, and goals of that particular school when they have to plan the curriculum. Also, they must have to include the philosophy of that particular school. And in designing the curriculum, this is where the curriculum workers select and organize the topic and the content of curriculum. This is where the curriculum must in one curriculum may ilalagay sila ng mga content, which is the competencies, mga subject matter na gagawin designing the curriculum. And curriculum implementing, this is where the action takes place, which is the teacher, si teacher na yung mag-implement ito in their particular classroom. Okay, curriculum implementing, this is where action takes place. This is, ito yung si teacher na yung gagawa, which is si teacher na yung mag-implement in that particular school or in that particular classroom, which is kung ano yung subject matter na naka-indicate sa curriculum, yun yung tuturo niya sa kanyang mga estudyante. And then curriculum evaluating, it determines the extent to which the desired outcomes have been achieved. Malalaman natin kung successful yung pag-implement ng isang curriculum or ng isang competency kung you have to, kung mag-apply ka na or mag-evaluate ka in your students kung success ba yung pinaplano mong curriculum. And then this procedure is ongoing, or it is also called as formative assessment or the mastery of learning, which is the summative. Along the way, evaluation will determine the factors that have hindered or supported the implementation. So, kaya na sinasabi ko, kung malalaman mo lang kung successful yung isang curriculum na ini-implement mo, kung which ma-implement mo, dadaan mo sa isang pag-evaluation or
Go.
different curriculum development models. There are three. The models in this chapter are presented according to the three categories, which are the linear, cyclical, and dynamic. So when we talk about linear, it is systematic and logical process of the curriculum. And when we talk about cyclical, it is from the word cyclical, it is cycle or the continuous process of curriculum development. And when we talk about dynamic, may
Changes.
yes, changes, but may kanang ginugang something that dinidevelop pa ng isang component. So first, we have in linear models, we have Tyler's rational linear model, which is also called four basic principles. Everybody please read.
The curriculum development model is emphasizes the planning phase. This is presented in his book, Basic Principles of Curriculum and Instruction, published in 1949. Tyler argued that curriculum development should be logical and systematic.
So, gaya na sinabi ko na when yung mga curriculum or curriculum models, when we talk about linear, it's also logical and systematic. So, Tyler, he posited 4 fundamental principles which are illustrated as answers to the following questions. So, what education purpose should schools seek to attend? So, this is where na kung ikaw yung curriculum workers, you have to attain which is the objective. So, ina-identify ng curriculum workers yung vision, mission, and goals ng isang school. And then, what educational experiences can be provided that are likely to attain these purposes. So, sa sagot na, ito yung systems ng curriculum development process ni Tyler. So, number 2, yung ilalagay ng isang curriculum workers dito is yung activities or something that strategies na i-apply in that curriculum. And also, how can these educational experiences be effectively organized? So, this is wherein talks about kung ano ba to, kung number 3, kung ano ba learner-centered or teacher-centered. And then 4, how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained or not? So this is where you can apply evaluation using tests and other forms of evaluation. So this is the models of Tyler's rational linear model. And according to Tyler, aside the 4 principles or the 4 questions na presented Tyler also identified 3 curriculum sources which are the society, students, and the subject matter, and then the society, the philosophy of education, psychology of learning, and then the students, particular the subject matter, also the selecting of objectives, selecting learning experiences, organizing learning experiences, and then the evaluation. So, gets Tyler. Okay, the second model is the Hilda Taba model or the grassroots approach. Everyone please read.
Taba presented her model in her book, Curriculum Development Theory and Practice in 1962. Her model is a modified version of Tyler's model. Taba argued that curriculum development should follow a sequential and logical process, and she suggested for more information, input in all phases of curriculum development.
So, Taba argued or kanang ini-enhance niya lang yung model ni Tyler. So, which is Tyler first Tyler identified when developing curriculum, yung inuuna ni Tyler is the mission, vision, and goals of that particular school. But unlike to Hilda Taba is inuuna niya yung diagnosis of needs. So this is where applicable to the students or Hilda Taba, yung ano niya, curriculum development is she gathered information to the students, which is kung applicable ba yung gagawin niya curriculum to that particular students or kung ano yung needs ng students, yun yung i-apply niya sa isang curriculum. So first, diagnosis of needs, and then ito na yung formulation of objectives, selection of content, organization of content, selection of learning experiences, organization of learning experiences, determination of what to evaluate, and ways and means of doing it. So this is where nakalakip niya din dito yung paano sila tama nag-plan, nag-design, and then the implementation and evaluation of the curriculum. So the third is the Gareth Taylor and William Alexander curriculum model on 1974. Could everyone please explain?
They reviewed the curriculum development as consisting of 4 steps. Their curriculum is a plan for providing sets of learning opportunities to achieve broad educational goals related to specific objectives for identifiable populations served by a single school center.
So there are four, there are in Gareth Taylor, there are four also the steps. There are 4 steps na when he developed the curriculum. So first, they have goals, objectives, and domains. So the goals, objectives, and domains are identified and chosen based on research findings, accreditation standards, and views of the different stakeholders. So goals, objectives, and domains, which is this is where it applied to the school kung ano yung kung kinukuha nilang data o that particular school, kung ano ang dapat malalaman ng isang estudyante. That is why yun na rin yun yung gagawin ng or ipaplano ng isang curriculum workers.
Go.
So, curriculum designing, it is where na gagawan na lang, it is where na mag-identify ka na kung ano yung content na ilalagay mo ng particular curriculum. And also curriculum implementation, so si teacher na yung gagawa nito kung paano niya i-integrate into his or her class, and also the evaluation. So the fourth is the understanding by design model or the UBD. This is wherein there are 3 stages of this curriculum development. We have identified desired results or determine acceptable evidence, non-learning experiences, and instruction. So UBD stages of background design. This is also called a background design, which is in the stage 1. The stage 1 includes what students should know, understand, and be able to do. So this is what we call that identify desired result. And also in stage 2, it calls for designing assessment evidence for documenting or validating whether the desired learning has been achieved. So that it is to determine acceptable evidence. So gagawa ka ng isang evaluation para malaman kung effective ba yung pinaplano mong curriculum. And then in the stage 3, the plan learning experiences and instruction, teachers decide on the type of activities that the students will do and the materials that will be needed for the planned activities. So, para na siyang evaluation kasi si teacher is magbibigay siya ng different activities or different assessments na maging support sa pag-implement niya ng isang curriculum. So, the fifth is the systematic design model. Everyone please read.
Robert Diamond
Originally developed the systematic design model in the early 1960s.
Like some of the previous models, it follows a linear process of curriculum development. Diamond 1998 explained that ideally, some actions must precede others and certain decisions should be made until all relevant facts are known.
So in systematic design model, there are 2 phases. So the phase 1 is the project selection and design. As shown in the first place, some curriculum influences and sources are also acknowledged in the process of curriculum development. So in phase 1, meron tayong basic planning inputs, also project selection, project-specific factors. So project-specific factors, this is where kung ano yung i-consider ng isang curriculum workers. So accreditation of requirements, mga credit restrictions, fiscal and staff constraints. And also, mababa niyan is the operational sequence and to the ideal selection, which is on how to design or to select the content. And then in phase 2 is the production, implementation, and evaluation for each unit. So malalagay dito yung paano mo na-implement or paano mo i-evaluate yung isang curriculum. So it's learn how to design evaluation instruments and procedures. So the model is applied in the Philippines will be probably difficult because of the lack of research culture in our education institution. So this model is lack of parang dinidesign lang siya without identifying the goals mission of that school. So parang dinidesign lang siya para i-implement lang but without knowing na kung ano yung dapat matutunan ng isang mga estudyante. Okay, now let's proceed to Moray Print Model for Curriculum Development. So please read.
Print, publish.
His model and his book,
Moray na siya.
Curriculum Development,
Signed in 1988. His model prescribes a sequential and logical approach to curriculum development to provide a useful and easy to understand process in developing curriculum.
So in this model, there are also three phases that they have to the curriculum workers that they have to consider. So there are phases of Moray, which is the phase 1 organization, phase 2 development, and phase 3 application. So in phase 1, phase 1 is the aims, goals, objectives, situational analysis. In phase 1 recognizes the nature of the curriculum workers involved in the development of the curriculum. And in phase 2, which is the development, is the task of developing the curriculum. The procedure is cyclical, begins with situational analysis. So, situational analysis cycle, and also aims, goals, mag-una siya sa phases of Moray, mag-una siya sa situational analysis, aims, goals, objectives, content, learning, activities, instructional evaluation, and pabalik na naman siya kung ano yung and then now we are done in linear processes and models. So now let's proceed to cyclical models of curriculum. So the cyclical models of curriculum, this is it talks about cycle or the continuous process of developing the curriculum. So first, we have Audrey Nichols and Howard Nichols model of curriculum development. Everyone can read.
It was developed Nichols 1978. This attribute of the model is helpful for teachers, administrators, and education boards to address curricular issues and propose innovations and changes whenever needed. Thus, it applied in college settings. Faculty members need to conduct situational analysis before planning their syllabi and curriculum plans.
So this model is applied in the states, and this is where ina-apply na in states and colleges, but really yung parang sa nagani kay because of lack of data gathered, but about in situational analysis. So this is the Nichols and Nichols curriculum development model. So this is starting also in situational analysis, selection of objectives. So when we talk about situational analysis, ito yung sinasabi ko na yung isang curriculum workers is mag-gather siya ng data kung ano yung dapat matutunan ng isang mga estudyante in that particular school. So magsisimula siya sa paaralan kung paano sila magpaplano ng isang curriculum. And then also they have to select the objective, selection and organization of content, selection and organization of methods, and then the evaluation. So Wheeler's curriculum development model, everyone please read.
In his influential book, Curriculum Process of Wheeler 1967, presented a
Cyclical process in which each element of the curriculum
is related and interdependent. Wheeler also emphasized the importance of starting from the development of aims, goals, and objectives.
So in ordinary goals, we have to they start in situational analysis, but in Wheeler, parang ginagaya niya or parang ini-improve pa na yung model ni Tyler, which is nagsisimula siya sa aims, goals, and objectives of the school. So this is the model of Wheeler. So aims, goals, and objectives pa rin yung inuunan niya. And then learning experiences. So this is applicable to the students. Selection of content. This is where curriculum workers design and select the content. Organization and integration of learning experiences and content. And also the evaluation. So the contextual filters model of course planning. So it was developed, this model na developed lang siya is because of they kanang inututok sila na mag-conduct ng study on that particular school. So this model is teacher-centered. So when we talk about teacher-centered, it is applicable now in states and colleges. So do you know naman on what is academic freedom, right?
Yes.
When we talk about academic freedom, this could have been very useful for faculty members, especially for neophyte instructors. When we talk about neophyte instructors, it is the instructors who are yung neophyte service gani is something na hindi pa nila alam yung they have or who do not have background knowledge on education. This is what we call a neophyte instructors. Yung baguhan pa sa servisyo or baguhan pa sila in the field of education. So this model is applicable onto them. So this is the contextual filters model of course study. So parang ito na yung ginagamit ngayon ng isang mga teacher, like in state and colleges. So this is applicable in the instructors. Now let us proceed to, we are done in cyclical model. Now let us proceed to dynamic. Dynamic models describe how curriculum workers develop curricula in various educational contexts. It highlights the importance of involving teachers in curriculum development process. So ito na yung sa mga process which is the process of linear, cyclical, dito na yung may binago pero yung pagbabago niya is to improve the curriculum. So now first we have Walker's model of curriculum development. Everyone
Walker developed a model of curriculum development and first published it in 1971. In this model, Walker was particularly interested on how curriculum workers actually do their tasks in curriculum development.
So this is the model of Walker. So in the platform phase, so parang sa babaw, which is the curriculum brings with them their individual beliefs, knowledge, and values. So in developing Walker's curriculum, which is the teacher is parang
Facilitator.
teacher is the yung kailangan ng so the teacher is yung magde-decision kung ano yung beliefs nila or knowledge and values of that particular curriculum. Sila yung magbibigay ng subject matter. Unlike in the other models, yung gagawa na isang curriculum, which is the curriculum workers, is nag-identify sila ng aims, goals, and objectives of the school. But here in Walkers, si teacher na yung gagawa, which is si teacher na yung magde-develop ng isang curriculum kung ano yung dapat ituturo niya sa isang o sa mga estudyante. So in the deliberation phase, so in the deliberation, so involves identifying which facts are needed for means and ends, generating alternatives and considering the consequences of these alternative. So deliberation phase, which it is also called as implementation. So ito yung on how you select and on how you apply and integrate the curriculum. And then in the third phase, which is the design, involves planning, decision making, and the actual development of the curriculum. And second is the Scalpex curriculum development model.
In 1976, Skill Model for Developing a School-Based Curriculum in Australia. The skill-based model includes a situational analysis that involves gathering data from the school, society, and the learners.
So this model is magkakandak ng isang curriculum workers na kung ano yung situations ng isang school, society, and learners. So involved na dito yung society. So first, we have situational analysis. Yun nga, yung situational, you have to conduct situational analysis to the school, to the students, and also to the society. So, and then goal formulation, which is you have to conduct or you have to provide or implement the goal formulation, which is the objectives, and then program building. So, kung ano yung dapat mga strategies mo or mga approaches na igagamit mo dito, and then interpretation and implementation, and also monitoring, feedback, and assessment reconstruction. So, ganito yung cycle ng, ganito yung model ng Scalpex model.
From taas pababa.
So, and then let us proceed with here artistic approach to curriculum development. Everybody please read.
Elliot W. Isner,
In 1979,
he published the Book of Educational Imagination,
where he presented
his idea on how curriculum development should be done. He believed that there is a need to develop a new theory
that recognizes
the artistry of teaching that is useful in helping teachers develop those arts.
So in this model, this is applicable or the curriculum which is na involved na yung teaching arts of the teacher. Teaching arts of the teacher. So ito yung process niya, the goals and priorities. So goals and priorities, so kung ano yung dapat na ituturo ng isang estudyante, ng isang teacher sa estudyante is yun na yun yung priorities ng isang teacher. And then the content of the curriculum, when talk about the content of the curriculum in this model, Ernest artistic approach, it is the subject matter na like involved ang arts. And then types of learning opportunities and organization of learning opportunities and how you design or on how the curriculum workers design the curriculum, and then organization of content areas, mode of presentation and model of response, kung paano, this is when si teacher na kung paano niya ito i-integrate, and on how the students, kung naka-learn ba sila or kung ano yung feedback, and then types of evaluation. And then the last is the Powell's model for developing curriculum. The author developed this model as one of the major outputs of his doctoral dissertation in the University of the Philippines, Diliman. So, this model is nabuo lang ni siya. It's because of the proponent of this is nagkandak lang siya of study gani, which is kung ano yung dapat na or appropriate na i-integrate na curriculum in the Philippines. Okay, so in the Philippines, so kinukuhanan niya ng situational analysis, which is the learners, society, and the disciplines. So curriculum sources niya yan, and then the curriculum influences, which is the external, internal, and organizational. So when we talk about external influences are the social factors that directly influence curriculum decision making. So example of these external influences are the society, market demand, government, and alumni. So yun yung mga influences na ini-indicate ni Pauli's model. And then, the internal are those related to the school, like faculty, students, and program mission. So, yun yung sa internal. And then, when we talk about also the organizational, it is the school factors, but they are more concerned with the governance of the program and support system like school resources, leadership, and program relationship. So, yun nga, pero nagsisimula pa rin yun, in this model, nagsisimula pa rin siya sa situational analysis of the particular curriculum workers, the learner, society, and discipline, kung paano mag-design sa curriculum. That's all.